What's going on, guys? Welcome to Best Basketball, where we have all your latest basketball news. So today's video is about Nate McMillan. So Nate actually has just been fired from the Indiana Pacers after taking them to the playoffs within the NBA bubble. So Nate, aka Mr. Sonic, was the head coach for the Pacers, and they fired him actually after his team was swept by the Miami Heat within the first round of the playoffs. This kind of comes after the Pacers reworked his final year of his contract for 2021 and added a team option for 2021 to 2022, which was a soft extension. Indiana kind of is in a mode where they're trying to find program builders, according to Woj, Agent Wojnarowski. During his 4 seasons with the Pacers, Nate actually had a 183 to 136 record, including a 3-16 postseason record. So he's made the playoffs, but he was actually swept in the first round each of these past 2 seasons. So the Pacers actually, fun fact, haven't reached the second round since appearing in 2013 Eastern Conference Finals, as well as 2014. So that was when they were playing against Braun and D Wade and Chris Bosh in the Miami Heat. And currently, Indiana has lost a franchise record of 9 consecutive playoff games. So if you think of that, that's about 3 years in a row where they haven't won a game. But they made the playoffs, but they just haven't won. So Nate can take their team to the playoffs. He's a great coach, but unfortunately, whether it's just be how the team is built, whether they're not, they're just placing kind of more superior teams within the Eastern Conference. The Pacers haven't made it that far in the playoffs, guys. So what's going on now? Heat coach Erik Spoelstra actually called Nate's firing ridiculous this past Wednesday. He said, quoted, "It seems ridiculous that you're talking about both sides of your mouth. Just 2 weeks ago at the beginning of our series, you're giving him an extension, but it's really just a media fake extension to appease whatever they feel like they needed to appease. After this series, to make a quick emotional decision is really disappointing." So Erik Spoelstra wasn't happy. Erik was the coach of the Miami Heat this year in 2020, and he was a part of the team that just swept Nate McMillan in the playoffs. Erik's team had Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, first-time All-Star, Duncan Robinson, three-point shooter, Kendrick Nunn. Although he didn't play much in this series because he was hurt, he's an up-and-coming candidate for Rookie of the Year, as well as Tyler Hero, another great offensive player who's albeit a rookie right now from Wisconsin. That's why him and Jimmy have those ties with that Wisconsin bloodline, because Jimmy played ball at Marquette before he was drafted to the league. So the injured players that actually kind of played a key role into the series were two-time All-Star Victor Oladipo. He was actually suffered a knee injury back before the season started. He was just kind of coming back hurt. They didn't have their All-Star forward, Domantas Sabonis, because of foot injury, and he was a first-time All-Star this year, which was a cool surprise, along with Bam Adebayo, who was on the Heat. And the Pacers organization actually had a statement. On behalf of the Simon family and the Pacers organization, I'd like to thank Nate for his years with the team. That was from Pacers President of Basketball Associations, Kevin Pritchard. He also said that this was a very hard decision for us to make, but we feel like it is the best interest of the organization to move in a different direction. Nate and I have been through the good times and the bad times, and it was an honor to work with him for those 11 years within Indiana and Portland. So if you guys are kind of curious, Nate was also a coach at Portland as well. Nate had a record of 661 and 588 during his 16 seasons as a head coach for Seattle, Portland, and Indiana. So it's kind of unfortunate that Nate actually got fired. He seems like he's a great coach, as well as he was kind of I believe a player's coach as well, because a lot of his players respected him because he played in the league for about 12 years, all with the Sonics, I believe. So Nate is actually 56 now. If you guys are curious, he was a a guard for the Sonics. He's 6'5", 210. So he played in the league. A lot of his players do respect him. Some kind of fun facts about Nate. He did go to college at Chowan from 1982 to 1984, and he went to NC State from 1984 to 1986. They call him Mr. Sonic because of his 19 years of service to his team, and his number 10 jersey was retired by Supersonics actually. He was also known to be one of the third Big Mac team in the late 1980s and early 1990s that had Xavier McDaniel and Derek McKee. So kind of like those, for those old school Supersonic fans who were fans back in the day. After retiring in 1998, Nate actually joined Paul Westphal as an assistant coach with Seattle. They had kind of two, mediocre records where they finished 40-42 and 37-45. And they went to the Western Conference semifinals actually in the 2004-2005 season where they were 52-30 and they lost to the Spurs. So if you guys are curious too, Nate actually spent, after 19 years in Seattle, he joined the Trailblazers and became the head coach of the Trailblazers in 2005, where the team had the cap problems, and I believe they were called kind of like the Jailblazers because a lot of them had a lot of off-court drama during his time in Seattle. So yeah, kind of Nate coached there till 2012 of March. And then he kind of joined Team USA, where he was also working there under Coach K, and it was assistant coach there. And they won the 2012 London Summer Olympics, so that was kind of back in London. I believe that was actually, was it the Redeem team? I'm not too sure, but that's, I know when Kobe and Braun were all playing on the same team, so that was a force to be reckoned with. So on 2013 of July, Nate was hired as an assistant coach for the Pacers. He replaced B. Shaw, Brian Shaw, former Laker, as well as NBA champion with the Lakers, because Brian Shaw took a head coaching job at Denver. And then on May 2016, after Frank Vogel's contract wasn't extended, because Frank was coaching the team when Paul George, George Hill, I believe Roy Hibbert, David West, Lance Stevenson, when those guys were playing and battling against the Heat, against D-Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James. So Frank Vogel wasn't promoted, and he wasn't extended for his contract, and they promoted Nate McMillan to the head coach. And then fast forward to August 26, 2020, unfortunately, Nate was fired by the Pacers and relieved of his duties. So Nate actually is back on the coaching block. So we're retiring, looking to hire a coach. For those of you kind of curious about his personal life, his son Jamil is actually a guard, right? Was a guard for the Arizona State Sun Devils, and is now currently an assistant coach for the New Orleans Pelicans. So following in that coaching footsteps of his dad. I always liked Nate as a coach. Like, he seemed like a cool dude. Like, a lot of his players would rally around him. And I remember watching like those days when he was coaching the Portland Trailblazers, and they were always they had those, I guess, off the court problems with just kind of the guys getting into off court problems. Like a lot of, like, I believe it was like Rasheed Wallace was on the team. What else was going on? I think they had like Damon Stoudemire, like Scottie Pippen, and they were battling out with the Lakers, like Shaq and Kobe, back in the day, where Shaq and Kobe would like face in Western Conference Finals. I believe they were down, like they're up 3-1, and then the Lakers just came back to kind of beat them, which would set up kind of like the Lakers championship run. But Nate always seemed like a cool coach. Like, it's, from my understanding, like a lot of players in the league, they like to be coached by players who actually balled in the league, right? Because they more or less feel like this guy has been through what we've been through. He knows like the family troubles we may be facing, especially if like we're one of the first, I guess, first people in our families to kind of come up with generational money by playing in the NBA and playing in the league. So he always was kind of like that coach who's been there, done that, and is now kind of showing his experiences. Because you gotta look at it too, he kind of put in the work to become an NBA guard, and he played for about like 12 years with one team. That's big stuff. That's like some Dirk stuff, some Kobe stuff, who just spent in excess of 10 years with one team. And I feel like that's a lot of NBA players' goal, like to go to that team they were drafted with, to stay there long term and just make things happen. So which is kind of like what Nate did. So Nate's kind of career took him everywhere from 1986 to 1998. He was with the Sonics as a player. From 1999 to 2000, he was an assistant coach. Then he became a full-time coach from 2000 to 2005 with the Sonics. From 2005 to 2012, Nate was with the Blazers. 2013 2016, he was an assistant on the Pacers. And then finally, 2016-2020, he was with the Indiana Pacers as a head coach. Some career highlights by him: two-time all-defensive second team 1994-1995, and led the league in steals on 1994. His number 10 jersey was retired by the Sonics. And some career stats for you: he ended with 5.9 points per game, 6.1 assists per game, and 1.9 steals per game. So Nate had a successful career in the league. Now he's a former NBA coach, definitely a gold medalist Olympian from his coaching days, and now he's back on the coaching block. So hopefully Nate finds a job soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Nate McMillan. I'll be posting more videos like this, but please leave a like, turn on subscribe, and share this video with all your friends and family. I hope you guys watched this video and really enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed making it. See you guys later. Peace. Follow Best Basketball.